Manchester City Football Club have claimed that Jurgen Klopp's comments in the build-up to their big mammoth clash this weekend were borderline xenophobic. The report went in via the Times that claims that Jurgen Klopp unnecessarily and irresponsibly inflamed tensions before Sunday's match at Anfield because of comments made in his press conference. Some at Man City felt Klopp's words were borderline xenophobic. What he stated in the build-up to the game is that there are 3 clubs in the world that can do what they want financially. The manager was specifically referring to City, Paris Saint-Germain, and Newcastle, all of whom are financially backed by Gulf states. Now, these claims, of course, have infuriated Liverpool fans. This is a huge accusation. Huge accusation of xenophobia, bigotry, and, of course, inflaming what ended up being a very ferocious game on the pitch and off of it. And we'll get into that later. Coins being thrown, Hillsboro chants, graffiti, damage, and much, much more. But is what Jurgen Klopp said xenophobic? Is it xenophobic to suggest that these football clubs, who are owned by some of the richest people in the world, is xenophobic? For me, at no point in anything that Jurgen Klopp said did he mention anybody's nationality. Did he imply anything negative about these individuals attributed to their nationality because City and Newcastle and Paris Saint-Germain can spend? Did he mention religion? Did he mention skin color? Did he mention creed? Did he mention religion, sexual orientation, gender, age? No. I backed Man City in that argument because Jurgen Klopp is wrong. City, PSG, Newcastle, no club has the financial freedom in Europe to spend willy-nilly as they want. That is incorrect, and we'll get back into that in a moment. But to suggest that Jurgen Klopp was responsible for the disgusting chants from Man City fans, from the putrid behavior of the minority of Liverpool fans here who threw coins at Pep Guardiola, who hurled missiles at Manchester City's bus after the game, is horrendous from the officials and the board, or whoever said this at Manchester City. What's even more cowardly from them is the fact that they have not come out publicly, put their face to that claim, their name to that claim, essentially looked Jurgen Klopp in the eye and said, what you did was cancelable. Xenophobic. It's a huge, huge claim. And I will defend Jurgen Klopp on that because you can dislike Jurgen Klopp as a man. You can dislike him as a manager. You can think he's petulant when he loses. You can think he was terribly overly aggressive with the rest when it doesn't go his way. You can think all of that. But none of that makes him xenophobic. None of that makes him a borderline bigot. And there is a wider question. Challenging sports washing in itself should be allowed to be claimed. There should be a debate. There should be an argument. I have a real issue with these kind of subjects being instantly shut down because someone makes a claim of bigotry. But that's a completely separate conversation because Jurgen Klopp didn't say whether it was right or wrong they could do this. He didn't make any attack. He didn't even imply. He didn't even subtly have a jibe at anything that should be construed in this way. And it is utterly reprehensible, abhorrent that Jurgen Klopp has been accused of this. Now, I'm a Man United fan stating this about a Liverpool manager, but I can't just sit back and see these accusations be thrown around and say nothing. I think it's wrong. Now, when you look at the game in itself, and we'll take a look here, this is what the City fans were singing during the game. They're singing there, "The sun is right, you murderers." Disgraceful. Man City should be going through this footage, and if they recognize any single person that the lips move into this song, lifetime ban. Remove them, get them out, get them done. Equally, Liverpool need to be investigating with the same level of with the same intensity for the individuals that threw a coin at Jurgen Klopp on the side of the pitch, and any individual that was throwing the missiles or encouraging the throwing of the missiles by the side of the bus. There's CCTV everywhere. Both these incidents should be investigated by their football clubs. Lifetime ban should be out there. the mainstream media, the content creators for both football clubs, I'm not sure if they have, I haven't checked, should all be making content today. Their main focus of content today should be to identify out and get banned the thugs and the nasty individuals that committed these situations. These individuals are responsible for their actions, not Jurgen Klopp saying, I think it's a little bit unfair that Man City can spend what they want in the transfer window and we can't. Jurgen Klopp is not responsible for those grown men, those thugs, throwing coins and chanting and mocking the Hillsboro dead. So for me, this is what I want to see from the fan content community is call out your own, find your own, self-police and move them on. Take a little bit of responsibility here instead of passing the buck. Don't do what the Man City board has done and try to blame Jurgen Klopp for your own fans' terrible behavior. It's abhorrent. It's absolutely abhorrent. It really, really is. Now, is Jurgen Klopp right or wrong? We spoke about this the other day, and he is outright wrong. He's not a xenophobe, but he isn't right. Man City, Newcastle, they can't spend what they want. It's a fallacy. They are limited by financial fair play in exactly the same way as every other single club. Go and look at the numbers of their turnover, their match day revenue, and what they earn through TV deal money. In the last 4 to 5 years, they've only averaged about £20 million a year more income than Liverpool. But equally, their owners inject around £70 million a year on average for the last decade into their club, where Liverpool's owners have averaged around 12 million. So if Liverpool's owners, who are, by the way, billionaires, were able to, invested the same as Man City, they would be on a completely even keel financially. You can't get away from that. They would be on a completely even keel financially. The one challenge I got to that video, the one for me credible rebuttal was, but Terry, what about the rumors that the Newcastles and the Man Cities have got overinflated sponsorship deals that nobody else, like there's no company there. It's just a company giving them £60 million, but there's no real business. It's just friends of the owners pumping money in. And it's a very good rebuttal. Maybe that's how they've inflated their commercial earnings so they're able to spend in the market. My question is this, though. The other 18 Premier League clubs control this situation because the way the Premier League works is every season, 3 teams come up, 3 teams go down. It's a partnership. As a business, it's a partnership, meaning that every single football club in the Premier League is a part owner in some respects. And what I mean by that is they all have a say in the rules and regulations. You have to have, I think it's 14 clubs vote on a motion, vote on a rule, vote on a law change for it to go through. So what's stopping at least 14 teams in the Premier League saying, right, there needs to be a standard created for commercial deals that represents the size of your global fan base? If, for instance, Arsenal, Liverpool, and Man United, the biggest 3 supported teams in the Premier League globally, have a shirt sponsorship deal that's worth 80 million a season, it's inconceivable that a team the size of Newcastle globally are going to get a 150 million pound deal a season. Why would a company invest that much when there isn't as many fans buying the shirts, as many people watching on television? They can create a standard. It's a great challenge. My rebuttal is, why would no clubs create this law, this rule? And I'll tell you as to why. This is an opinion. This isn't a fact. They're probably all in one way, shape, or form cooking the books. In one way, shape, or form, they're all probably doing something somewhere, a little bit creative with their accounting that helps them. Maybe they don't want a sweeping law to come in that ends up damaging them all financially. That makes, otherwise, I can't think of another logical reason as to why they would want to do that. Doesn't make sense to me. But it's a fair rebuttal. But everything else that Jurgen Klopp said is completely and utterly wrong. There's the only reason that City are able to quote unquote spend more is because their owners keep investing and their owners have zero want and desire for profits. And to break this down to you, this make it make sense. Yes, the owners of City are worth 22 billion pounds. The family are worth even more, but the owners of City are worth 22 billion. The owners of Liverpool are worth around 10 billion. So double the price, double the value. However, this is the equivalence of it. You're talking billionaires. The Fenway Sports Group are worth 10,000 million. 20 odd thousand million is what the City owners are earning. So this is what the equivalence of it is. It's like you having £20,000 in your bank account and me having £10,000 in my bank account. All right. And Me ask and you investing, sorry, you with the 20,000, you're investing 77 pounds a year into your football club, and I'm investing 12 pounds a year into my football club. That's the equivalence here. I can afford to put 77 in because I've got 10,000. FSG, the Glazers, the Cronkies, all of these owners could afford to invest in the same way City are. It's not going to break their bank. They are going to be living a lavish life forever. Who needs 10 billion pounds really? You don't need it. You don't need that much money to live. I've got no issue with them having it. Zero issue with them having it. But this notion that the owners of our football clubs can't do what City's owners can do is a lie, because you can't pump unlimited amounts of money into football clubs. But this comes down to a lot of things. Whether it's, I was getting cooked yesterday on Twitter because there's new proposals now for these Premier League tournaments to travel around America in pre-seasons to raise more money. And I said, I don't want to hear clubs and managers moaning anymore about tiredness. Oh, Terry, the managers have no choice. They're forced into doing this. Again, fans wanting a get out of jail free card, an excuse for if their teams are doing badly. The same as when it comes to the owners. I'm telling you, it's a choice of Arsenal, a choice of Liverpool, a choice of Man United, a choice of Tottenham to not invest like Man City. No, because if it's a choice, then we're responsible for our own failings. The reason Man City have been better than everybody else for the past 5, 6, 7 years is because their owners have got no desire to make profit out of the club. The owners have got no desire other than to create the best football team possible. And they continue to invest in the team. It is a personal choice. And then within that, it's run very, very well. Look how much they've paid for some of their star players over the past decade compared to, say, Man United. Even look at Newcastle that have been dragged into this. And break this down for a minute. Newcastle spent, what, 24 million pounds on Bruno Guimaraes? Look how much money Man United has spent on midfielders this summer alone. How much we spent on Anthony. How much, he's an attacker, but how much we spent on Casemiro. Now, I'm not suggesting that Bruno Guimaraes is better than Casemiro, but there are bargains to be had. You know, Tottenham just spent 25 million pounds on Basuma. So you've got Ruben Neves that's available for about 40 million pounds. So almost for as much as Casemiro cost, almost as much as Man United were willing to pay for De Jong, you could have gone out and got Basuma, Ruben Neves, and Bruno Guimaraes for the same price. This isn't just about how much money your owners invest. It's about how good you are at spending it. And I do think it's wrong that Man City are always, that their achievements are being belittled because their owners are rich. But all the owners of all of our clubs are rich. None of us are underdogs. It's just about how good our owners are. But we don't want to call that out. Why? Because that puts onus and responsibility on us. And no one likes to have ownership and responsibility thrust upon them. It's a weakness that we currently have in our society. But back to the original point, was Jurgen Klopp xenophobic? Not on your Nelly. And those claims from Man City should be addressed. They should come out and apologize. They should come out and completely revoke what they've said, take it back, apologize to Jurgen Klopp. I want to see the fan channels of both Man City and Liverpool come out and overly condemn and demand that the identification of the idiots throwing missiles and the idiots singing about Hillsboro are identified and given lifetime bans. I want to see the fan community come forward and do that, as well as the football club themselves. But to call Jurgen Klopp xenophobic, I think is an absolute disgrace. But I do want your thoughts and I want your feelings below. Hit the like and the share button, and we'll see you all again soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.